So I decided to upload this. I'm surprised I didn't think of doing this sooner. So on my first channel, I really make sure, make damn sure, but I always like to have the July books separated from the August books. In fact, this time around, even though I bought books in August and got them in August, I didn't upload that video because I didn't have the book from July that I was waiting on. Here, I'm not gonna care about that. Here, because I ordered them all around the same time, I'm still gonna count it as crazy ass Comic Hall Part 2, that kind of thing. Even though I'm gonna I'll tell you which books. The first, actually, in fact, the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 books are the July books. Starting with the one that took forever, which is Undertow, Volume 1, Boatman's Call by Steve Orlando. It's a bunch of artists, actually it's a bunch of authors too. I'll do this. There you go. I'll do that. Keep it there for a few seconds. And also, there. Come on, man. I noticed that after a while, on my first channel, I was going over this book, because I went over it twice, once for the comic haul, and the next time for the complete July haul, which is what I do on my second channel. I had noticed that it was more than just Steve Orlando rating it, which I thought was all Steve Orlando. It's like an Atlantis book. They're going to going on an expedition in Atlantis, and then find this creature, and they find the barbarian god instead. It's more than they bargained for, yada yada yada. They said the artwork was kind of hard to tell, not only the characters apart from one another, because it takes place underwater, and it's kind of murky, how underwater is in real life, and it was the artwork. Some said it was good, but most said it was bad, and that's the main reason why this doesn't have the best reviews on Goodreads. Now, Steve Orlando and Comic Book Roundup. Now, Steve Orlando was very hit or miss for me, but when he hits, he hits. When he misses, he misses. So, and I haven't read anything from him that I would say is groundbreaking or anything like that. It's just enjoyable enough to where I'd want to read more that he's written. That book being The Curse of the Man Thing, Avengers, Spider-Man, and X-Men. I don't know why I specified that, but it was a trilogy that came out not too long ago, 2 years ago. In fact, it was 2021, in the summer of 2021, and it's a 3-issue miniseries. I think that's all I mentioned. I always feel like there's something else I had to mention, but nope. So far we're good. Then next up we have The Last Siege, written by Landry Q. Walker, with artwork done by Justin Greenwood, and chapters 1 through 4 is colored by Eric Jones, and then 5 through 8 is done by Brad Simpson. Now, this series was, I don't know if I mentioned this on this channel, but Sovereign in this one shared the tradition of Game of Thrones. That was the main comparison they're making with this connection they're making with this comic series. Comic series. Now, this one, Near My Condition, a YouTuber I'm subscribed to, I really like. He recommended that he does every so often. He'll do every month he'll do a gems video, 5 hidden gems. He'll pick 5 books and talk about them, and they're all underrated comics no one's ever heard about for the most part. Now, class 1 through 8. I keep thinking there's something I forgot to mention, but so far so good. But I keep thinking it's a nagging back of my head. The quick plot synopsis is kind of confusing. It's kind of not all over the place. A lot, kind of one of those things. I keep forgetting it too. It's they want to one of the people is looking for a 11-year-old girl, and it's disgusting. All 11-year-old girl. That's strange. And also one's trying to usurp the throne, and one's looking for. I believe it's 2 people. One's looking for more degrading, disgusting kind of thing, and one's looking to dethrone her. But 1 through 8 of Last Siege, and I just shut off the artwork. Oh, that was the thing I wanted to mention. Ironically enough, Landry Q. Walker has a run on the second book at least. For the Game of Thrones graphic novel adaptation. Now, I'm almost positive that it's 1 book per adaptation, but I almost want to say that's not the case. It's not 1 hardcover; it's several hardcovers just for book 1. Hopefully, for book 1, it's only 1 because it's let's look it up actually. So whatever the first one's called, just real quickly. So yes, this is my third channel. So far I only have one subscriber, and it's me on a second channel, subscribed to myself. And that's just so I can remember everything, because I forgot the email in the password. Password's pretty easy to say. I forgot, send my recovery email, but if I can't remember the email, that's another thing. So then the book is Game of Thrones, graphic novel. I accidentally hit set. That's fine. So it says graphic novel volume 1. Because volume 1 is not written by Landry Q. Walker. In fact, I thought it was at first, because for the longest time I was rather skeptical to pick up that, a bit skeptical to pick up that book, because I didn't like the first book. Yeah, it's weird. Let's do volume 2. Because of course, all you see is George R.R. Martin, who originally was the original writer of the series itself and the creator. No, still Daniel. Oh my god, that's really a lot then. At least. Oh, there we go, Clash of Kings. Because I know Clash of Kings, so at least. Clash of Kings. 4 volumes. Let's see. Let's check volume 4. I know this is probably not as interesting for you guys, but it's one of those things I have to look up. Yep, 4. Because I know Landry Q. Walker does volume 4. And hopefully the local library has them all. That's why I'm just going to decide to read the series. Next up is also by Landry Q. Walker. It's not a fantasy or historical fiction. This is a superhero book, and it's a 2-volume series, and that is Danger Club. Collecting all 8 issues of this miniseries, Volume 1, Death, collecting 1 through 4, and Volume 2, Rebirth, collecting 5 through 8. Now, for the artwork, so every first page is a homage, and I love homages. Sometimes, almost all the time, more than the originally, more than Silver Age itself. Like the homage is more, because it takes the best of that era and replaces all the bad with even more good. So like double good. So here's that first page, but then next page, just the next page is regular standard artwork. Standard modern artwork. Now this one is written by Landry Q. Walker, art's done by Eric Jones, and colors is done by Rusty Drake. So pretty much all the same team for Last Siege. And here's the additional colorists. I can't see because it's covering completely. There you go. I'm sure you guys can see it. So yeah, 1 through 4 for Volume 1, and 5 through 8 for Volume 2. Volume 2 is a previously owned library book, so you can tell that I got this book used. Almost all of these I got used. In fact, I think all the rest of these, all the rest of July are all used. I don't mind getting used. So this is, I'm going to assume you guys are not coming from, you shouldn't be, because I'm just going over the same exact books that I just went over. But I'm assuming you guys are not familiar with my first channel. Now, for me, recently, ever since December of 2022, I have been getting more and more comfortable with purchasing books from third-party sellers on Amazon. And 9 times out of 10, it has proven to be better than going on Amazon itself. It's cheaper, takes a little longer, yes, but sometimes they'll say, like, for a good example, in fact, is one book that was coming in August 8th to the 9th, and I got the 31st. In fact, it was one of these books. I don't remember which one, but one of these said August 8th to August 9th. I was like, damn, it's been a long time. And it's, nope, July 31st. It's like, yay! Now, had it not been for Undertow, I would have been a lot happier, because Undertow took forever. So, TLDR for Undertow is that they directed it to the wrong packet. They delivered it to the wrong address. And they said that. It's like, oh, whoopsies. And they're going to have to forward it. And I looked it up. Forwarding means taking it back to the original seller. Which I was like, it's going to take another week and a half at least. But nope, they were able to. I think what they did was they just called HPB Ruby, which is the seller I got that Undertow book from. And HPB Ruby was like, oh yeah, here's the right address, zip code. They said either the address or zip code was incorrect, and they had the right state, not the right town, the right state. So I believe that they had wrong. Maybe in the town too, but it was the zip code, or maybe it was just the It had everything right besides the town. Like, they had the zip code, too. I don't know. Or maybe it wasn't. What was my other theory that was, like, more plausible than all the others? I just had come up with it today. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was. Maybe it was USPS themselves. Like, it had the same exact right address and everything, but just someone completely just brain dead delivered it the wrong address, or they accidentally had it in the wrong pile, or whatever. They had a pile of packages, and the guy grabbed it, and then mine was on the wrong town's one. Like I said, this town, that town A and town B. I'm town B. They put one of town B books into packages into town A by accident. I don't know. There's a whole different number of things, but that could have happened. But I don't know. Last one from July books. It's Whiskey Tickle, International Cowgirl, written by Mark Riggets, with artwork done by Mike Hawthorne. This one is, I'll just read the back of what it says. It says, rodeo queen, astronaut, diplomat, movie star, international cowgirl, that's Ms. Whiskey Tickle. Sounds very strange, and also is the size of your, almost the same size actually, I think it's the same exact size as your DC Black Label books. The Prestige Plus ones, obviously. Because some are standard size. That's it for July books. Now let's move on to the August books. First one up is Angelic by Simon Spurrier and artwork done by Casper Wingard. And you can tell, or pretty, I don't know if you can, but 1 through 6, by the way. So it does collect issues. Now, that is something that, like, you guys are probably like, what's the point of that? And why would you even mention that? Well, it's smaller than your average trim size. So, your average trade paperback for any publisher is going to be the size of your average comic book issue. I'll even do this, and I'll even do a comparison here. It's the same size as a comic book is. And that's what I like, you know. It's okay. So if I say this was issue 1 Danger Club, or issue 5 of Danger Club, rather. Well, I like the I like the trim size to be the same as the comic book itself, the issue itself. This one isn't. I almost want to guarantee that it isn't. I don't know for sure, but that each of the issues are standard size. But this isn't. Now, it is rated T for teen, which by Image Comics basically means has PG. Which is a little bit more like edge to it than an E for Everyone comic books. They do have an age rating called E for Everyone, which is G-rated shit, kid shit. But this did say it was very kid friendly. But I still want to pick it up. I'm not usually one to clamor for a kiddie book, but this was like T for teen usually means they allow a bit more. Like, it's not like some T for teen books. Like, one T for teen book had F words in it. It was only a couple, but it had F words in it. That was from Image themselves, and one of them I'll be showing pretty soon here is also T for teen. It's a new release, and it has a bit of bloody violence in it. But this is Angelic, volume 1, Airs and Grace. They did not do that at all. Oh, that was sorry. That's okay, because this was for the August haul, which is fine. Whatever. Maybe it did. I don't know. But Angelic, volume 1, Airs and Graces, collecting 1 through 6 by Simon Spurrier with artwork done by Casper Wingard. Angelic. The other Casper Wingard, the other Simon Spurrier book I got was, I have 3 total, but one I got a long time ago, and that was Step by Bloody Step, and that's for Image Comics. Another thing you guys need to know about me is I'm a completist. I like to have everything a writer has done for Image Comics. I'm a huge fan of Image Comics. I've been buying them nonstop for trades, and also it's all I can really afford to get. I can only afford to get books from one publisher, so I pick one and then I go with that. What I might end up start doing is, like, this year I'll focus on Image Comics. Next year I'll take a break and focus on another publisher. Not the worst thing to do, because I have plenty of Image Comics. Or maybe I'll wait till that top shelf up there is completely filled with, I have shelves, is completely filled up with Image Comics. That first shelf you see if you're laying on the bed, which is where I'm filming, which is what I'm filming on, you can see all Image. Maybe, yeah, I'll always do that. Alright, but in that case, but sometimes you can't really, like, predict, like, how many books you need unless you're really good at math. Because what if I'm getting a 12-volume series and then I got all 12 on there, but I need to get, like, I'm just running out of rum and I need to put some like somewhere else, you know. But anyways, Cry Havoc collecting 1 through 6 of the series. This one was like a guy named Lou is like there's 3 different like personas kind of thing over the years. One is a street musician savaged by supernatural terror. One is crossing war-torn Afghanistan with a unit of shape-shifting soldiers. And then one is a monstrous held captive by the rogue beast she was sent to kill. So it interweaves 3 stages of a remarkable life into a critically exalted saga of military myth and media. It's very interesting. And Simon Spurrier, I read his Hellblazer run, which I really enjoyed. Currently reading that yet again. There is the artwork. Now this was used very good. So that was another thing I kind of trailed off on. So I've been getting books from third-party sellers, and most of the time what I do is I do used like new. If I want the book badly enough to sacrifice the used very good, I will do that, but nothing below that. If it's only available used good, I'm not getting that book. The only time I broke that rule was for Screamland, so that was way back in May. And I had done that because I wanted the book so badly, and it was like the last book I needed from that author, and I was like, the hell with it. And it actually came in perfectly fine condition. You couldn't even tell that it was used good, like immaculate, pretty much. And that was partly because, and that was also a good thing because, and also they had said on their thing, on their the product description, that it was just like, it's been in a comic shop, it's never been read, but its shelfware has really downgraded the quality of this book. Now this was a used very good book from a third-party seller that used, for the most part, I've gotten all like new from them. It's called Wonder Book, and just a few little blemishes here and there, nothing too bad. And honestly, almost all of them I've been able to fix. Like it's been like coming out like this a little bit, so I just push it that way, and that was back to normal pretty much. But that is Cry Havoc. Next up we have Lorenzo De Felici, Lorenzo De Felici's Chroma. He's writing and drawing this series, writer and artist. And this is the one that I was talking about, where it's a teen book, where there's a bit of bloody violence, see? This one is similar to Cry Havoc, the same kind of like fantasy kind of book. And one thing I forgot to mention, Robert Kirkman gave a blurb to this book, gave praise to this book, and he wrote Oblivion Song, which Lorenzo did the artwork for. It was called Oblivion Song. It's pretty neat. 1 through 4 of the series, it's 4-issue mini-series, so it's all done. All four issues collected in here, and basically it's your like standard kind of like Beauty and the Beast tale, where everyone's scared of the Beast, but the Beauty someone sees a beauty in the Beast kind of thing. So that looks very interesting. I don't think they end up going being together. I think one is too young. I believe it's the boy. Yeah, it looked very interesting. Oh, and so it does collect 4 issues, but each issue, as you can tell, it's a bit longer than your average Image comic issue. Next up, we have Snapshot by Andy Diggle with artwork done by Jaw, collecting 4 issues of this mini-series that I've actually read before, and I did enjoy. It wasn't like a super, oh my god, you must read this, you must read or anything like that, but if you like Andy Diggle, if you like Andy Diggle's writing, check this out. And it's the same exact creative team behind Green Arrow Year One, which I really enjoyed that book. Probably my favorite Andy Diggle comic. Samurai's Blood, this collects 1 through 6. This and the next one, I'm doing it back to back. Hitomi, these both take place in feudal Japan. So, I imagine it's a different kind of story. I imagine it's a different kind of story that just takes place in the same place, but different story though. 1 through 6, Samurai's Blood, written by Owen Wiseman. I'm going to show everything. Also, this is used very good. There's writing on here. I've never had that happen before. Usually I say there may be writing, but I get lucky, and then I luck out, and then there's no writing whatsoever. Here's all the credits. because there's some names I don't recognize, and I don't usually show all the credits for every book, especially if it's just writer and artist. And if it's letterer, I don't credit the letterer. It's just letterer. Maybe it does a lot about me and what I should actually take, what am I taking to priority. But there is a third series I know that at least that I was seeing when I was researching Feudal Japan comics, because Hitomi I was getting, but it's like, oh, is there more books in Japan? So we can wait on that to be able to afford both at the same time, and there was. There's a third one that's out of print. I got it digitally, and not even the trade, not even the digital trade. No, I went even further to get a discount on discount, because it was expensive trade, digital trade, and physical too. Either way, that trade was expensive. So I went the issues route. I got all 5 issues for $8.99. That series is called Bushido. So that's 1 through 6. And then Hitomi is 1 through 5. Different cover, by the way, than what's shown on Image Comics is his website for the trade paperback version, and what Amazon used to have it. Amazon now has this cover, but they used to have a different cover. It was the cover for issue 2. This is Tomy, Feudal Japan. Artwork, especially the cover art, reminds me a lot of Monstrous. I'll probably doing an overview of that series next. Here's the artwork for Bushido for Hitomi. Because I have all 7 volumes that are out right now for that series. There's an 8th one coming out in November, so maybe I'll wait until then. That's a long time to wait. Okay, 1 through 5 of Hitomi. Oh, sorry, written by H.S. Tack, with artwork done by Isabella Mazzanti. Last, but certainly not the least, yet another book that I read, and that is Cold Spots by Cullen Bunn, with artwork done by Mark Torres. I really enjoyed this book the first time I read it, and I like Cullen Bunn in general. Cullen Bunn I feel is a very, very criminally underrated writer. That, as they say, is that. 22 minutes.